nerds? How are y'all doing this evening? I hope you're feeling amazing. I hope you're feeling blessed. I hope you're feeling supported. And if you're not feeling those things, I hope, as I yap and ramble on, that you will feel good as we go on. I actually put on makeup today to go out. I put on makeup this morning, didn't realize I was going to be leaving the house, but I was happy that I did my makeup, and I actually went out and spent some time with my dad today, so that was pretty fun, but I have not taken that off yet. It's funny because when I shower, I don't usually wash my face in the shower because I use like gentler means to wash my face, so that is why my makeup's still on. Usually when I do these videos, I would prefer not to be wearing makeup, honestly. I mean, with these videos in particular, I usually prefer to just throw on my stuff and come in here. But to those of you who have been here before, welcome back. I missed you. 1 minute and 11 seconds on my timer as I'm saying that because I have missed you. I have missed you guys. There are times when, like, throughout my day I'm going through things and I'm like, damn, I'm actually really excited to get into this and to talk to my community, my people who are lurking and watching my videos. So hello to those of you who lurk. I love you and I appreciate you. And I am very excited to get into some of tonight's topics, whatever those topics happen to be. But before we get started, I like to show my rose quartz tree, and I would like to say happy, I guess, what is it, the 15th? Happy February 15th. Look at that. We are moving through February right along. 2 minutes and 2 seconds as I say that. That's crazy because January felt like it lasted 50 billion fucking years. So I'm happy that February seems to be moving fairly quickly. Not happy because there's anything I'm particularly waiting for or like am doing, but just it's nice, you know, when time moves, you know? Feel the loving energy of the rose quartz tree. It really does look like rock candy, like the sugar rock candy. I remember when I was in elementary school, we made salt rock candy and then we made sugar rock candy. And the patience I had to have, because I don't know if you guys remember if you ever did this in school, but you had to like put a stick with a string in like the concoction because it was like a science class or a chemistry class thing, and you could see the crystals forming, but you couldn't eat it until it was done. And that shit used to kill me. I used to hate that. I was so impatient as a youth. Did you drink water today? Do you have chapstick on? Have you lotioned? Have you moisturized your body and your soul? 3 minutes and 3 seconds as I say that. I ask you because I love you. And for those of you that don't know, lotion is so good for you. It's so good for you. It does keep you from aging super duper fast. Think about it. Think about it. Raisins are all wrinkly. You know what's not wrinkly? Typically, grapes. Plums, they don't get wrinkly until they start losing their moisture. That's when they start getting wrinkly. So you owe it to yourself. Get yourself some chapstick, some Burt's Bees, whatever, anything. Blistex. I wouldn't recommend Carmex because Carmex actually dries my lips out. I'm not sponsored, and I don't think I will ever be sponsored by Carmex because don't come to me because Carmex dries your lips out super fast and then you gotta go buy more. But yes, let's drink some water together. I just brushed my teeth, so the mint and the toothpaste makes this extra cold. So, let's get into some vulnerable moments. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Yasha. I also go by Tato the Penguin, and I do these soulful yapping videos every night, and the majority of the conversation that I have on here has to do with my daily life, what I go through, the path that I've chosen, you know, updates on things that, you know, I'm doing now, starting out as 32 years old. I'm finally living certain dreams that I've always wanted to do, and I'm happy to have y'all here, to have you here as I go through my journey. I try to be as authentic and as raw as possible in my videos without exposing anybody in my private life because I signed up to do this and be super vulnerable on a public platform. Nobody else I know signed up to do this, so that's why I keep certain information vague, but I try to tell you guys what I'm doing and what I'm up to. I actually thought about giving you all kind of a rundown as to why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed, because the first time I ever talked about this was in my very first video in this series that I did, and that was a while ago. And even people who've been following me for a while probably haven't seen that video, so I will explain. So the thing is that when I first started these videos, I was gonna do them just, you know, I was just gonna do them. But then I was moved to pull out this wig, because it is a wig, and I was moved to pull out this dress that I wore to a con. This wig and this dress actually represent a time where I felt I was the most me. I was the most authentic version of myself. When I talk about authenticity, and nailed it. When I talk about authenticity and vulnerability, 5 minutes and 55 seconds as I'm saying this, I'm not talking about doing things that other people think you should do. In fact, I frequently say, when I'm telling y'all you need to be authentic, I'm telling you to be the portions of you that are real and stand on business. I don't wear this wig because I don't like my hair. I love my hair. My hair is curly. It's very short right now. I'm growing it back out. My hair has been, I've had all kinds of hairstyles. I've had braids, I've had cornrows, I had a mohawk, I had a faux hawk, I've had buzzed sides, I've done designs in my hair, I've had it straight, I had a fuck-ass bob at one point, and then I was bald. Multiple times in my life I've been bald. First time I went bald, I felt so ugly, because I was like, my hair is my crown and it matters. But then the second time I went bald, I grew my hair back out and then I shaved it off. I felt so beautiful. And that's what matters. How you see yourself is what matters, not what other people fucking think. So, the reason I wear this is because I went to my very first con last year, my very first anime con. I saved up the money and I went with my best friend. Hey bestie, because I know she watches my videos. I went with my best friend and she helped me. We both bought this dress. We both bought this dress on Temu, actually. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I usually just share the stuff that I use in case you guys are interested. 7 minutes and 17 seconds as I say that. So if you're interested in going to a con and dressing up in cosplay, you should do it. But anyway, my bestie and I, we went to a con. We both wore these dresses. All of this jewelry. I bought this for protection, but most of my jewelry has been gifts from people who care about me and who want to get me stuff. This beanie, I really like this beanie, and I like this outfit, but I wore this dress and this wig to the con. It was the first time that I felt I was actually myself, because I was a big ol' nerd. I was a big ol' nerd when I went. So, if it confuses you that a person can be authentic while also dressing up, or authentic while also wearing makeup, then I would suggest that you explore what authenticity means to you. Like when I think about drag queens, for example, there's a clip from a show, and this drag queen walks into a store, and the man behind the counter asks her, and some of y'all probably know what show I'm talking about. I've never seen the show, I just saw the clip, and he asks the drag queen, "Why do you dress like this?" And she said, "I don't know. I guess it's because this feels good. It feels like home. It always has. This is how I feel on the inside." It's one of the reasons I really like drag queens, and I like drag kings, and I like people who dress in cosplay like 100% of the time, and people who do makeup, crazy makeup, because that's what they want to do, because that is what true authenticity is. That's what authenticity is. You're doing what makes you feel more like you. And I know there's some people who argue and they're like, well, you being the real you is you, walking around, wearing normal clothes and having your normal hair out. Honestly, everything that we do to a certain extent is for other people. Everything, because we live in a society where there are laws that we have to follow. You know how many times I've wanted to cut somebody off in traffic, or I've wanted to roast the fuck out of somebody in public and I don't do it because it's a social thing. I mean, also, that'd kind of be shitty for me to do, but there's a lot of stuff that we do in order to exist with other people in society. The only thing that I'm saying when it comes to authenticity is to do what makes you feel like you. And you get to decide who you are. Nobody else gets to decide that. Nobody. You get to decide who you are. If I decided that I wanted to legally change my name I wanted to shave off all my hair, and I wanted to do anything to my body. And I decided, this is me, this is the most authentic version of myself, then that is right for me. 10 minutes and 10 seconds as I say this. So I'm talking to somebody. When I'm saying authenticity and vulnerability, I'm talking about being the you who exists, who is happy within you, not the you that you dress up for other people. Back when I used to do content, I used to do social media stuff, I didn't dress up like this. I was parading as a person who wanted to be taken seriously, as a jazz musician, as an actress, as a person who wanted to be on Broadway. I did most of my videos with my regular hair. I would do some makeup, and I would wear professional clothes because I wanted to be taken seriously. I never would have dressed up in a wig and in like a little fairy dress like this. Never would have done that because I didn't think anybody would take me seriously. But now, I don't give a fuck. And you shouldn't either. So yeah, if you're new here and you are wondering how can she talk about authenticity and vulnerability and then also be dressed up, because you can do both. Two things can be true at the same time. You can be an authentic and a vulnerable person, and you can also dress in a way that makes you feel sexy and beautiful and amazing and brings out the portions of you that are unblocked. The portions, how your soul actually feels. Because honestly, if we really want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, I am not this body. I am an energetic being having a spiritual experience, meaning that the energy that's inside me, it's atoms, it's glowing energy. And everything else that you see, this is all drag. This body, my eyes, my nose, this whole body is drag. My spirit chose to come back here and be a black woman, which I love. I love this. I love this experience. I didn't used to. I used to hate the way that I looked. I hated my skin because I had eczema. I had really bad eczema back in the day. And I wanted to be white so bad, y'all. I wanted to be white so fucking bad. I was like, listen, their hair is just so great. It's not kinky. It doesn't have to be wet in order to do. Their hair stays straight when it rains. I wanted that experience. I did not want to be a black girl. 12 minutes and 34 seconds as I say that, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means we're on the correct path. I did not want to be black. And now, it's one of the reasons why when I talk confidently about how I look, if somebody's like, oh, well, do you wear this? I don't know if that's for your body type, but I'm like, I don't care. I like the way it looks. That's what matters. Or when I'm like, man, I'm really glad that I did that, and I'm really confident in myself. And people are like, whoa, like, you're humble. You know what I have to say to that? Nothing. Because those people don't matter. You know why? Because when you've lived a good chunk of your life, 13 minutes and 13 seconds as I say this, when you lived a good chunk of your life not wanting to be here and you finally fall in love with yourself, it is an experience like no other. There are a lot of people out here faking the funk, walking around, and they do not like themselves. And they try to make that everybody else's problem. But guess what, my love? It's not your problem. It's not your problem at all. It is not your job to carry the burdens of others. Say it again for the people in the back. It's not your job to carry the burdens of others. And a burden that a lot of people want to place on you is their dislike and distaste for themselves. It's not your job. It's not your job. Just... that's your job. Dust it off and keep it pushing. But anyways, so that was something that I had thought earlier today. But today was difficult. Today was difficult. It was Valentine's Day today. And the part that was difficult was, it was interesting because my gut was like, stay off of social media today. And I did exactly that. I only got on YouTube so that I could watch some video game playthroughs, and that was great. But I woke up this morning, I asked my inner child to lead, right? Same old, same old. But as my sister was talking about a particular situation where she felt really seen and she was really enjoying this crush space that she's in, I found it hard to hear. I was happy for her, but I found it hard to hear because For those of you who've been with me for a minute, you know about the soulmate journey. You know about what I'm wanting, you know? A person who is just as in love and obsessed with me as I'm in love and obsessed with them. And, you know, based off of a lot of things that I've heard, it's something that I have seen as a rarity for a long time. And so this morning, I was kind of going the fuck through it, because it wasn't just that. I find that life is a lot, I don't know about you guys, but I find that life is a lot easier when I'm getting a W somewhere, when I'm winning somewhere. If my bank account doesn't look great, but I have amazing friends, I usually feel good. Like friends that I'm socializing with, I usually feel good. If I have amazing friends and things are going well, I don't feel as bad about not having a partner. But when everything seems to just be not hitting. Side note, I had black pepper steak for dinner with white rice. It was everything. And I had dinner earlier, and then I went down for a nap, and then I woke up and ate the rest of my dinner, because that's usually what I like to do. Like, I literally have a plate of food, because I like to eat in bed. So I'll have a plate of food, and I have like my towel and everything laid out, and I'll eat, and then I'll get tired, and I'll literally lie down, and I'll pop like a 30-minute, 45-minute nap, and then I wake up and I just finish my food. It's an experience, I assure you. But I wasn't feeling as confident today. And I messaged my best friend, and I poured out everything. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. You know, I have a couple of family members who I struggle with, and I struggle with them because they are dealing with life in a way that is very different than how I would deal with it. And it's not right or wrong. It's just that there are times where my ego does get the best of me, and I think 17 minutes and 7 seconds as I'm saying this, there are some times where my ego gets the best of me, and I think to myself, oh my God, your life would be so much easier if you just did X, Y, and Z. And then it pisses me off when the very people who I'm like, hey, you could totally do this, look at me and they're like, well, I need help. And it's like, well, I'm giving you help. And it's like, well, I want a different type of help. Ooh, it frustrates me. Ooh, it frustrates me. And what frustrates me even more is people who are not capable, it seems like, when it seems like people are not capable of taking responsibility for the things that they have done. They seem to be in a position where they are more concerned with how they are affected by the world around them than they are concerned with working on themselves so that they can be better for themselves, so that they are better for the world that they are in. It is a very frustrating experience. I was telling my dad this earlier, that because I was an oldest child, something that was placed upon me from a young age, and my parents have both kind of apologized for this because they realized, hey, you were 6, that wasn't fair. Like, that wasn't cool to tell your 6-year-old, well, if anything happens to your little sister, that's your ass at 6. I hardly have a developed brain yet, and you're placing a life in my hands. Something that I've witnessed a lot of parents do is that they make children parents by making them responsible for all of their siblings. Now, some people may disagree with me, and some people may say, well, that's fine, and different strokes for different folks. If that's how you feel and you're totally cool with it, that's cool. But my particular brand of trauma is that I was made responsible for my siblings, and to the point where I was questioned frequently what they were doing. And if they were doing anything that I didn't think was bad, that would have been something I would have gotten in trouble for. I got spanked, bro, and not in the way I would like. As a child, I was punished for not snitching on my siblings at times. I was punished for, if I was taking care of my work and they didn't take care of theirs, they would get punished, but then I would be made to watch them be punished and be like, see, if you had just made them do it. And it's like, well, I'm a kid, I'm 9. I don't have the ability to do that. And my parents and I have talked about this, and we've worked through a lot of it together. but just because we've worked through a lot of it together does not mean that I'm not still in some ways affected by that. And it's something that I have been working on my whole life, is not being a controlling bitch, because of the fact that growing up I was made to be in control of things I don't want to be in control of. I don't want to run the show. I was good. I was Gucci, just doing my own thing. But becoming a parent at such a young age made it to where one of my biggest pet peeves is when people do not take responsibility for themselves and the things that they do. So for example, if like you have a friend and you tell your friend, hey, so you should probably communicate this to your partner, because if you don't, y'all are gonna have a massive falling out. And then the person you're talking to is like, oh yeah, okay, maybe. And then they don't, and then they have a massive falling out, and then your friend comes back to you and they're like, I can't believe that this happened. I just don't know what happened. And it's like, I told you what was gonna happen. Hello? I told you what was gonna happen. You didn't listen to me. You didn't take my advice. Shit hit the fan, and then you come back to me complaining about how shit hit the fan. That shit happens to me frequently in my life. But something that is even more true than those things, and something that is more impactful and more important than my pet peeve, is the fact that I am not always right, and I cannot drive other people's cars in their lives. I cannot be in their car on the highway of life. The only vehicle I can drive is mine. I want it to be a motorcycle. That's really what I want the vehicle of my life to be. I'm telling you, I'm fiending. I've been seeing more motorcycles ever since I've been talking about it a couple years ago. I've been seeing hella motorcycles. I really want to go to a store. I think I'm going to go next week if I can, and I'm going to go and I'm going to see if I can try on a helmet, so that I can see what size helmet I would need, see if I can try on a jacket, feel the leather, because I'm one of those people who, it's like when I'm visualizing and I'm in the feel-good space, I need to touch stuff. Bring those gloves over here so I could try them on. I'm the type of person, I went to a Harley Davidson dealership that's not too far from where I live, and I went in there and they had me sit on a couple bikes, and when I tell you I mounted that thing and I had my arms up and I was like, y'all in trouble. Y'all are very in trouble. When I get my license, it's like, ain't nobody in trouble. But you know, that's what some people say. I be sounding like, my dad was like, you sound like such an old head sometimes. I'd be like, y'all in trouble now. Nobody's in trouble. Everybody's fine. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's looking at me. But the thing that was important for me to remember today as I was dealing with my family members on these issues is that I don't know everything. I cannot predict their life. It is not my job to tell them what to do, and it is not my job to carry their burdens for them. 23 minutes as I'm saying this. Somebody watching this, it is not your job, my love, to carry the burdens of other people. What I mean by that is to embody those issues as if they are yours, because they're not. Other people, 23 minutes and 23 seconds as I'm saying this, other people are driving their own vehicles on the highway of life. You cannot drive their cars because the vehicles keep going. They keep driving. You have to drive yours. You have to be paying attention to your vehicle. You always need to be checking to see if there's gas. You need to be checking your AC. You need to make sure that you're checking your oil, and you need to make sure that all of your stuff is together. You do not have time to also then try to fix up somebody else's car. And you know what the interesting thing is? Some of you have tried to help people fix up their cars, and you know what they do? Because they didn't have to put that work in, they fuck up their car. They fuck up their car. The amount of people that I have seen help other people, and then they are just fit to be tied when that person pretty much shits on the help that was given to them, not because they hate the person who helps them, but purely because they have no appreciation for it because they didn't have to work for it. It was literally handed to them. You don't want to do that, my love. 24 minutes and 24 seconds as I'm saying this, you do not want to do that. Life is challenging enough. Your journey is challenging enough on its own in your space without you trying to take on the burdens and the issues of other people. You know? Let's drink some more water. I have cotton mouth. And that was a hard pill to swallow because I actually had a family chat. Not every member of my family was on this Zoom call because we're in different, places, and so, my parents like to try to do Zoom calls so that we can all talk, and, we're all adults. My sister has 3 kids, so we're kind of spread out, and I expect we'll be more spread out here soon, just because of the nature of things. But on this call, my opinion was asked, and I immediately started going into what I thought, this member of my family should do, and I had to stop. I immediately recognized as I was talking, I could feel the pressure in my chest, that familiar feeling of anxiety when it's like, oh my God, I just wish this person would understand that what they're doing does not communicate love. Like, it just frustrated me so much, but then I had to pause and I had to take a step back. And luckily, the way my family works, there's never really a moment where there's silence. So when somebody stops talking, somebody else has an idea and starts up. So when I pulled back and I stopped talking, one of my other family members hopped on and had something to say, and I muted myself, my camera was off, and I literally had to sit back and take some deep breaths. And I had to remind myself, each member of your family, my family, this is what I was saying to myself, each member of my family is a grown-ass person. They have their own experiences, they have their own dreams, their own passions, and their own struggles. Even though I have known these people in close proximity for years, they have parts of their lives that I know nothing about. I know nothing about. Even when you live right up against somebody, they're gonna have things that they think that you know nothing about. And I had to check my ego. And remember, it's not my responsibility to fix anything. And what kind of an ego is that, to think that everything that I recommend is going to fix their situation anyways? Massive. I'm telling y'all, our egos are the demon that sits on our shoulder, making us think that what we say and what we do is the only way that things are going to get fixed. Bruh, listen, something that I'm grateful for is the ability to admit when I am wrong. When I am not correct. Does it hurt? Yeah. It's like a shot to the chest. I hate being wrong. Shit's embarrassing. But it is a human trait to be wrong. 27 minutes and 27 seconds as I say this. It's human. It means you're human. And the quicker I get okay with that, the happier my life is. Usually when I'm okay with being wrong, everything is good. When I'm having a problem with it and I'm letting my ego lead, that's when I start running into problems and I start getting really frustrated. So I realized that, and one of my sisters made very good points in this call. Like, she's just grown so much as a person, and she just understands life in such an interesting way because of the nature of how she is and what she's been through. And I listened intently. I stopped doing a lot of talking. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up and listen, bruh. Because, you have 2 ears for a reason. So you can hear, so that you can process data, so that you can... What? Come back. Yeah. So you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You've seen these videos. I have hours upon hours upon hours racked up of me yapping to y'all. I don't run out of shit to say usually. I got you. I got all of us. I could talk for all of us. I don't talk all the time, but I do talk a lot. I'm a yapper. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like the sound of my own voice. I didn't like the sound of my own voice for years. So now I just want to shut the fuck up because I actually like it now. I don't actually cringe or wince whenever I hear my own voice. But I apologized. I was like, y'all, I'm so sorry. I came into this immediately trying to give advice, and I didn't ask a single goddamn question. And I was like, I said to my sister, I was like, you're very right. I didn't ask any questions. I literally just came in with my own opinion. I didn't check to see, I wasn't really reading the room. I just got really upset with what I perceived the situation was. So I had to apologize. And of course, my family's pretty gracious when it comes to those things. So they're like, bro, it's okay. We all make mistakes. But it was interesting because I did a tarot card reading, or I did an oracle pull this morning before I started struggling in my day. And what I did was I pulled 4 cards from one deck, 4 cards from another, and then 1 more from the second deck. It was 9 cards total, which I didn't plan for. And when I tell you the cards read me to filth, honey, I think reading oracle cards is so much fun because it's essentially a very creative way of doing shadow work. And for those of you that don't know, shadow work is when you sit down and you get real about who you are, the life that you're living, what you want out of life, your desires, and you look at who you are and what you're about internally and you work on that. That is what shadow work is. It's dealing with the aspects of yourself that other people don't usually see or don't usually deal with. 30 minutes and 30 seconds as I say that. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's what shadow work is. And so that's why I do the tarot cards and the oracle cards. I don't do them to tell the future. I know some people do that, and some people say that they do that, but that's not why I do it. I do it because I actually was going to school to be a therapist. When I was in my undergrad, that was something that I wanted to do. I was very passionate about it, and then I figured out how many hours upon hours that was going to take, and I realized I didn't want to sit and listen to people's problems all day because I get very attached to people and their situations, and I was like, I don't have it in me to do that. So I found it interesting because while I was studying certain paradigms and practices when it comes to therapy, I saw a lot of parallels with spirituality and how we work on ourselves as people. And oracle cards and tarot cards, if you've never done it and you've never been interested in it, that's totally fine. But I kind of encourage everybody to grab a pack of tarot cards and to just pull one every day and see what it says, because they deal with aspects of your life. I think I've briefly touched on this, but it's there are, I think, 4 or 5 different suites that deal with the 4 or 5 different aspects of your life, and there are, I forget how many cards in each suite there are, but each of them deals with a specific area of your life. So there's cards that represent your finances and maybe what you should focus on there, or what you should do more of, or what you should do less of. Love life is a very common one. Your physical space, what you're doing with your material items. Like, it's really interesting. There's actually a lot of, there's a lot of value in doing it, and it teaches you to do it for yourself. So you're not constantly in a position where you're asking somebody else to tell you about yourself, which I know some people prefer it that way, so no judgment, whatever works for you. But for me, I enjoy doing it for myself. So I do oracle readings whenever I move to, or tarot card pulls whenever I move to. I don't do them all the time though, because I'm not always moved to do them. But anyways, I did that and it read me to filth. But what I did was each card that I pulled, instead of reading the card and trying to think about everything, I thought of one sentence that represented each card. I thought about one sentence that represented each card. There we go. And I turned it into a question. And then I went through in my journal and I meditated and I answered every question to the best of my abilities. And my toes were stepped on quite a bit. There are a couple of core things that I have forgotten, that I've stepped away from. And there were some things that I needed to focus on. So one of the big things that I'll share, because it was 9, so I don't have them like off the top of my head, but one of the big things was, what currently do I need to be healing within myself, and what do I need to comfort in myself right now? And I realized today that my confidence and my self-esteem took a bit of a hit when, what was the situation? Oh, it's when, the women around me talk about their relationship, or I see people in happy relationships online, primarily people who are in my immediate space, or a family member of mine coming into a lot of money. My confidence and self-esteem started to take a hit because I was like, okay, so I'm doing all this work on myself. I'm trying to keep a happy face. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not feeling very confident right now. Shrek, I'm looking down. Like, I was definitely having that moment. And I realized that I needed to bolster my confidence. It has gotten to the point where I have been doing these videos long enough to where I'm actually receiving comments from people that aren't as fully supportive as they were when I first started out. And I knew that this time was coming. I knew it was going to happen. But it doesn't stop the brief moment of, oh, I can't believe you would say that. Is this inside out? Oh no, okay. Just looked at a pair of pants I have hanging up here. And so, I was like, my self-esteem has kind of taken a hit, because when I get negative comments about my physical appearance, when people talk about my attitude and stuff like that, I'm pretty confident in that area in my life, because I spent many years working on being a person that I was proud of. My physical appearance is something that my confidence has gotten better, but I still do have moments where I don't feel as confident, especially if I am compared to, or I start comparing myself to people who they have a lighter complexion than I do. It still happens occasionally, and today was one of those days. And so I had to sit with it, I had to meditate with it, and realize that I have not been feeding into myself. I haven't been feeding into making sure that I am telling myself every day how beautiful I think I am, making sure to write love letters about my physical appearance to myself, doing the things that I know work for me to feel good. But you know, sometimes when you're living life and you're doing things, sometimes we forget to do those things that take care of us, and then we turn around and we're salty and we're upset. And it's because we haven't been doing the upkeep. So sometimes it feels like a lot to keep track of. So if you have felt this, I feel you on that. But I did that. I read those cards, and my dad came home and he was like, "You've been cooped up for a while, like in the apartment. You've only been going to a couple of places, let's go out." So my dad took me out and we kind of ran the town together. And by run the town, I mean we went to like the beauty supply store so that I could pick up some perfume, because I ran out of smell goods. For those of you who would like to know, I would invest in oils. Perfume is great, it's nice, but a lot of perfume, if you're ever like, I don't know why my perfume stops smelling after a while, it's because it evaporates. But when you use oils are really good, because if you put them on like the hot points of your body, what happens is throughout the day, as you're doing things and as you're sweating, those oils permeate. So if you are a man, if you're a woman, if you are a fey person, I suggest that you go to a beauty store in particular, like a beauty supply store near you, and see where they've got oils, and smell them and see what you think. I got 4 today, and I'm so happy. They're some of my favorite scents. And the reason I get 4 is because I like to mix and match, because then people are like, "What are you wearing?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a mix and match of a couple of different perfumes." That way I have a unique smell because of how I choose to mix and match them. But what I do is I put some perfume here and here. I put some here and here, right here on the pressure points. On my temples, I usually will take just a little bit and I put it in my hair, because the top of my scalp, or the top of everybody's scalp, it heats up as you're moving through the day, so it kind of permeates that smell. And then I will do like my inner thighs, the back of my knees, and then I smell amazing all day. And the only reason I know that is because strangers will be like, "Oh my God, you smell amazing." And I'm like, "Guess what? I put this perfume on 8 hours ago." So invest in some oils, my love, because you owe it to yourself to smell amazing for yourself. So I got some oils today. I was able to get some conditioner for my hair, because my hair has been a little dry and brittle. And I'm so happy I got some conditioner, because I needed it. So I got that. And then came back and was still feeling a little meh. And I voiced to my best friend that I felt a little meh, because I started to doubt the whole soulmate journey. And this was something that I really wanted to share in this video. I started to doubt the soulmate journey. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Is he really coming? Is he really going to be there for me? And my bestie essentially told me that regardless of whether or not that person is to show up, I am a powerful bitch. The purpose that I have chosen for my life is an admirable purpose. I am to live my life in a way that I am proud of. 39 minutes and 39 seconds as I'm saying this. She told me that I'm choosing to do all of these different things, and she was like, "Do not let a romantic interest be the reason why you don't do stuff because you're feeling sad about it. And I was like, ew. And then I immediately got 3 or 4 more confirmations, including my sister, who I did not talk to all day today, said the exact same thing. She said, you know what I realized? That a partner for her, a man, is not going to replace the happiness within me. If that happiness is not at my core, and if it is dependent upon the person I get with, I'm not truly happy. And my happiness will always be in that person's hands. So if that person decides to leave me, what, I'm just never going to be happy again? Hell no. Hell no. And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, you're being so loud right now. Who told you? Because it's true. It's true. The thing about the soulmate journey, the thing about being in love, the thing about finding partners is that as amazing as it is, it should not be a replacement for our joy that we create within ourselves. And I know that some of you listening to this are like, yeah, I know that. I forgot. I'm really talking to me right now. I forgot the fuck out of that. Because I realized I've been on it. I've been very on my soulmate journey. And then I remembered all of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm so proud of myself that I did my first video game stream. And the next one that I do, I think I'm going to try to do it on Tuesday, I think is the goal. This might be a Tuesday, Thursday thing. I don't know. We'll find out. The program that I was doing was telling me I can't play Roblox Doors, but I'm gonna figure out how to do that because that's like my favorite game. It's easy to play, and it's just really fun. I enjoy it, and the levels are randomized, so it's just really great for a person like myself who gets bored doing the same thing over and over again. The thing about side note, the thing about Stumble Guys, the video game that I play, is that sometimes it will give you the exact same obstacle courses over and over and over again. Like the last time I played, it gave me that goddamn snow obstacle course like 6 times. I was so irritated. I was like, y'all have so many other obstacle courses that I can work on. It really bothered me. But yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm working on content as we speak. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in my private life, in my not so private life, because I post it and I share it with you guys. But I'm doing so many things, and to let those things fall by the wayside because I'm upset because a person isn't coming, that's not the move. That is not the move for me. Not for Yasha. And I realized that, and I had to check myself. And the truth of the matter is that this is a wake-up call for you as well. As you're moving through your life, and as you're moving towards goals and all the, you know, the good that you desire, you have to know and trust that it is yours, first off. Second off, I implore you to start developing a feeling of joy within yourself, to start working on it. What are things that you can do, that you can think about, that you can say that make you feel joy? And really work on that and really bolster those muscles so that as you're moving through your life, it doesn't matter how quickly things happen. It doesn't matter if things aren't happening exactly the way you think they should be happening, because you have an internal sense of joy that cannot be shaken by other people. 43 minutes and 43 seconds as I say that on my timer as I say that. I think that's where a lot of you are working towards. I think some of you are pretty close, but some of you are also battling with impatience, which is fair because I'm battling with it too. But find creative projects to be working on right now. Find those projects. Oh my god, an eyelash. Ooh, no, it was mascara. I'm glad I got that out. Find projects that you can work on that are creative in nature so that you have a place to put that energy. And start creating a self-care routine. A self-care routine to help you feel better when you don't feel good. Because the last thing you want to do is when you bring your person into your space, when you meet your soulmate, when you meet that person, the last thing you want to do is be leaning so heavily on them that you start 44 minutes and 44 seconds as I say this. You want to create a good foundation for yourself so that when you get with this person, it is icing on the cake. You don't want that person to be your whole life. Because human beings, we are amazing and we're wonderful, but we're frail. We age, we get sick. Some of us make mistakes. People do things. I watched a video today that talked about that a lot of men don't experience this deep sense of love that a lot of women tend to. Like, women are taught from a very young age that you want true love and, you want the princess thing and you have this fairy tale. But a lot of men are not built that way. Like, their brains are less focused on the love aspect and they're more focused on the milestone aspect. So it's like, okay, I need a girlfriend, we gonna fuck, we gonna have kids, and then we're gonna get married, or, whatever order that happens. I need to get a job, I need to do all this stuff. That's why typically in male, media, you don't have a lot of talk. You do have some, but in male media that I watched growing up where men were the main characters, they didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about getting with a woman. They had passions, they had goals. A lot of documentaries aren't about them getting wives. The documentaries where men are concerned tend to be about the projects and the passions that they have. But if you look at a lot of content that used to be coming up back in the day, when women were main characters, the majority of them wanted to be in relationships. They wanted to find that connection. And it's not that that connection's not real or it doesn't exist, because it absolutely does. But I think one of the things that we owe ourselves, and I'm talking about everybody, I'm not just talking about women. One of the things that we owe ourselves, oh my God, my eye. Give me a second, y'all. Oh my goodness. One of the things that we owe ourselves is uncapped joy. You deserve joy and pleasure at its finest, and you deserve a lot of it. And waiting for a partner to make you feel that way, you don't have to. It's not that you shouldn't, you just don't have to. You don't have to wait for another person. You can start feeling good. You can start locking into those emotions right now. Right now. And I think you should. I think you should look at it. I think you should work on it. Because that's exactly what I'm fun to do. Because I realized, I was like, man, a lot of my happiness is wrapped up in this idea of this man coming and essentially being just amazeballs. And he will get here and he will be amazeballs. I'm very, very excited about it. But something that I don't want to depend on and lean on so heavily is that I need another person to make me happy. I don't want to be there. I don't want to place the impossible burden on another person of being my happiness or my joy. And I think one of the best ways that we avoid that is that we build that sense of joy and happiness and fulfillment in ourselves. That way our partner is a person who gets to live life alongside us, not a person who we are living our lives for. Because one of those options allows the person to rock with you. They can make mistakes. They can be human, and you're still together. The other thing, if they make mistakes, you're decimated. If a person forgets your birthday, you're out of it. Why? Because you have nothing else going except this person. So those are the things that I was shown today, and that the people who I love in my life kind of are going through, and it really hit me at the perfect time that I needed to hear it. And I'm telling y'all, this whole life being a journey thing really does help to lock into, because it really is about the journey. It's about being where your feet are. So it was definitely a day. It was a whole day. I want for you guys, and I've said this in other videos, but I really want y'all to experience unadulterated joy, fulfillment, fun. Like, my hope for you is that every day you're like, okay, so what am I gonna do today? And you do some fun shit for yourself, you focus on the projects that bring you passion, and then boom, your soulmate happens. And then boom, the house that you want opens up on the market, and then boom, money hits your account. Boom, somebody offers you an opportunity. What I would love for you all is that you are, and I know I can't drive y'all's car, I know that, on the highway of life, but I really would love to see and hear you all doing things that bring you fulfillment and bring you joy in your space, and then randomly the other shit pops up and just compounds the positivity. That's really what I want for you guys. And I feel like a lot of you are doing well so far. I feel like you are. It's only February. We're only in the second month of the year, in 2025, and I feel like a lot of you are doing a good job. I feel like you are. Even if you're like, well, I'm not really doing... You've got to pat yourself on the back. You've got to pat yourself on the back for the things that you're doing. If you're sitting through this video and you're feeling any type of, that's something to think about, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. If you're watching this video and you're simply enjoying it as an ASMR video, as you rest, you are doing it. Pat yourself on the back for enjoying it, for resting. 50 minutes and 50 seconds as I finish saying that. If you drank water today, if you put on chapstick or lotioned, pat yourself on the back. I know a lot of older generations hate this because they're like, why are you congratulating yourself for doing things that you should be doing, or doing the basic minimum or the bare minimum? Honestly, we wouldn't have to congratulate ourselves if we lived in a society that properly supported us from birth. But most of us don't. Some of us do. Some people on the internet right now, they live in towns and cities where ever since they were younger, they had that support. There are other countries that do that shit, that support their people from a very young age. But a lot of us who are on social media and we're walking around in our daily lives, we were not given the support to be our most authentic selves. We were given the rules and the regulations. 51 minutes and 51 seconds on my timer as I say this. We were told to fake the funk. We were told that what mattered was what you could provide the world. It's part of the reason that so many people don't feel like they have value. It's one of the reasons why so many of you, and you watching this, have at times felt like you didn't deserve the good that you want. You've believed that you didn't deserve the partner that you absolutely deserve. It's like, Yash, you don't know me. How do you know that I deserve it? Because you want it. I believe that we have been incorrect this whole time. When we talk about deserving, we talk about it from, oftentimes, I've heard it discussed in terms of you have to be ethically and morally good in order to deserve things. But who created the idea of ethics and morals? We did. Human beings did. We've been setting up a precedent for all kinds of things. The reason that we pay the taxes that we do here in the US, the reason why it's such a confusing situation, is because human beings want it to be confusing. There are companies that are making bank off of doing people's taxes for them. So of course, if we did taxes the way other countries do it, where they just send you a bill at the end of the year and you just pay that bill, all those companies go away. A bunch of people go out of work. But we created this. We created this. Human beings created the way human beings operate. So, in the same way that we created it, a lot of us can step away from that. We can rewrite it. We can do it the way we want to do it. You can do it the way you want to do it. Even if you're one of the first people in your family to wake up and to come to the realization that you don't want to be on this treadmill. You don't want to just work a 9 to 5, or if you do work a 9 to 5, you want to do it in a way that feels authentic to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. Now, I can tell you you deserve it all day, but if you then wake up tomorrow morning and look in the mirror and go, I don't deserve anything, it is you who makes it so. The thing about being a powerful person, which all human beings are incredibly spiritually powerful, the thing that kind of sucks about it is you are powerful regardless of whether or not you believe it is the case. So as you move through your life, if you're saying, well, I have no control over things, and then you're constantly put in situations where you have no control over things, it's because you are speaking it into existence. Our words vibrate as we speak. The energy goes out into the air. The birds, the trees, the wind, the universe at large hears and feels what you're saying and feels what you put out there. For me, I'd be having these rounds of doubt. I'd be having these rounds of frustration. And I used to think that when I had doubt, when I had frustration, that I needed to push down those feelings and not experience them. 54 minutes and 54 seconds as I say this. I thought that I needed to stay away from the negative emotions. Well, that's just toxic positivity, is what I've learned. Is that it's toxic positivity to try to never experience emotions where you feel grief, sadness, lack of confidence, discomfort, those types of things. Those things are to help us learn, to help us move forward, to help us and inspire us to be better. That's the point. So for me, today I experienced feelings of inadequacy and a hit to my self-esteem and feeling trapped, because I'm not in a situation where I have my own vehicle. And it was an interesting situation to feel those things and then to remember very quickly that I am the master, the captain of my ship, the author of my story. This realization keeps coming up. It keeps coming. I don't even know if it's a realization. It's a re-realization. But again, just because you're on this path of spirituality doesn't mean you'll never feel some type of way. We always go through bouts of feeling some type of way. It's just the nature of being human. You're not doing anything wrong by having a day or two where you're angry. You're not doing anything wrong by having a day or two where you're sad, or having an extended period of time where you don't feel good. Experience your emotions. Allow them to happen, my love, because they're there to teach you something. They're there to show you something about yourself. Those emotions are there to show you where you need comfort, what you need to be doing for yourself so that you can feel better. At the end of all things, I had 2 questions. And I'm pondering those questions because I don't have an answer to them yet. But I'm going to ask you all, because maybe this is something you should ponder as well. You are a miracle, and you are a creative force, simply by existing. So what can you do to help you remember that you are a miracle and that you are a creative force? What can you do to help you remember those things in times when things get hard? No, yeah, in times where things get hard. Whoa, I really thought that I was saying stuff backwards. And I'd actually love to see your ideas in the comments. Again, never have to like, comment, subscribe, any of that stuff. Y'all know the drill. But again, if you guys have any thoughts to questions that I ask, I would love to see them. I think in my streams, when I play video games, I might ask questions like this and just see. Or that might be its own little series where I host lives and I ask y'all questions and we kind of go back and forth. I think that'd be fun. So yeah, that's what I did today. Journaled, meditated, felt good, had some re-realizations and had some new realizations. And it was a busy day. It was a busy day emotionally. Oh my goodness. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to call it. We are essentially at an hour. I love you all so much, and I appreciate you for being here with me. And I think what I'm going to start doing is when I have specific spiritual things to tell y'all, I think I might start a series that is specifically for that. Maybe. I think I'll do that. But I have to figure out how I want to do it. Because I like this outfit for these videos. The soulful yapping, I love this outfit for that. But I'm one of those extra people who's like, do I want to wear a different outfit for every different video? I kind of do, because on like my YouTube page where I can see all the videos that I've done, I like looking at the different like thumbnails for each playlist and their different colors. So that's the other reason why I dress differently. So I actually bought, I'm so excited, I bought an outfit today at the beauty, I love beauty stores. If you go to beauty stores like beauty warehouses, they have wigs in there, they have makeup in there, they have fake hair in there, they have all kinds of hair care products. The store that I went to, they have lotion, they have soap, like they have all kinds of great things for your skin, and they had clothes up in that bitch too. I bought an outfit, it's so cute. And it's gonna be my gaming outfit. It's gonna be the outfit that I wear when I game. It's so cute and it's so comfortable and it matches my wig. I'm so happy. Yeah, guys, I wear the wigs because I like wigs. I like dressing up. I like my own hair. I wear my own hair every day. I wear it every day. I go out. I go to campus. I go to the store. I wear my hair every day. You know where I don't get to wear wigs? Out every day. That's why I wear them here. I do this because I like the way it looks. I enjoy being able to dress up. I told y'all in another video, I was like, I'm gonna have wigs on wigs on wigs at some point. I literally now have in my possession 4 wigs. I have another wig that's actually just like this, except it's black. And the only reason I don't wear it with this outfit is because I like the pop of color. I love it. It's like a creative thing. It's really dope. So I'm so excited to wear this outfit that I bought with the wig the next time I game, and hopefully the next time I game I won't be spending so much time on the tech aspect. Hopefully I can just jump into some games and then while I'm streaming we can, you know, talk and have a good time. But yeah, so I'm gonna think on some things as far as my content and how I want to do. Oh, I am on TikTok now. I believe the government finally removed the ban, or the hold. It was on hold when you would go into the Google store or the Play Store or whatever. When I typed in TikTok on there for the longest time, it was like the government has paused downloading on this. So I had said in another video a while ago that if after all of the government did everything it was going to do, if TikTok was still there, I was going to start doing TikToks because they're short form. So they're not as long as this is, and I can just kind of share my thoughts, and I can kind of share like snippets of content on there. I don't know what I'm going to post on TikTok, but I'm on there now. So I have to change my profile picture and everything, and then I'll put my link maybe in tomorrow night's video or something, or I might just update this in the description and put my link to TikTok on here, because it's different. It deleted everything. Hey, 2 minutes and 23 seconds on the hour as I say that. TikTok really did me a favor by deleting all my content. It all went away. So all of the content that I did that was not authentic and true to me is gone. So I can start fresh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Something I want to leave y'all with is trust this year that everything that happens, it's happening for a reason. Trust that. Lock into that. That everything that we're doing this year, it's happening for a reason. It's not a mistake. It's not a, well, why would this happen? No, it's happening for a reason. Fighting. Lock into that. So anyways, yeah, whenever I figure out what I'm doing with my TikTok page, I'll maybe that'll be like tomorrow night's video or something. I'll put that on here. But I currently don't have any content recorded. So, I don't know. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and thank you for being here as always. Thank you for being beautiful. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you to those of you who really do be, y'all stay on it. Y'all stay on the commenting. Y'all stay on the engagement and the looking. I love that. But yeah, that's all I have for this evening. I love you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night at the time that you're seeing this. Pat yourself on the back. Congratulate yourself for small wins that are not so small. Make sure you get your water in. Get some chapstick or some Vaseline or something for your lips so that they're not super dry. And I will holler at y'all tomorrow night. Bye.